Hey, good morning, everyone. I created a new account, so here we are. I recorded 2 videos, and the Wi-Fi on the other phone wasn't working as well, so I decided to switch off. Continuing, if you're following from Sonia Red Carpet, I'm here. I'm fighting the good fight. That seems to be what I do. Raised by a Ukrainian father, it's hard not to see injustices, especially since they were made directly at me with my medical health. I've been out here talking about paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. I've been out here discussing how when the nonprofit in Bethesda, Maryland, found out that I was a news reporter and that I wasn't online or towing the line with their agenda, in my opinion, allegedly, excuse me. I told one of the board members who has resigned a few years ago, I told him I was a news reporter. He came back in May of 2016 and said, hey, that's fantastic. Maybe you want to create awareness. No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to create awareness about PNH. Not because I didn't want to, well, because I was just starting a news job for Bloomfield Life in Bloomfield, New Jersey. If you're familiar with New Jersey, Bloomfield is a big city. It's not too far from where I went to college, Montclair State University. It's just that I can't believe that I've been pushed aside because I am a journalist. I asked the hard questions. I emailed the educator when the article came out about Bloomberg News, why a patient is a gold mine like myself. There are two groups of medical people, AHUS, if I said that right, who are on Solaris originally, and then myself, PNH. I can't believe like somebody would dictate a drug to me. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Like, I really wanted to be more comfortable when I exhibited symptoms. Also, I did my research, and according to Aetna medical insurance, the year that I had medical insurance with North Jersey Media Group, I read what Aetna said about Solaris, and Aetna called Solaris an experimental drug and said that most people would be blood transfusing. I was in blood transfusing, so I thought, well, I can't be so bad, right? I understand my LDH was high, but I felt fine. I didn't want the drug. I don't know why I'm still explaining myself, but I want people to know how badly I was treated because I didn't want to do the drug. I want people to know that I was asked in the beginning, and I'm going to use his name because it's very important. I have to connect these pieces because so many people have just pulled away, and they're still part of this orphan disease community, of course, because we need the resources among each other. However, there's nothing more I can do. I've been pushed aside, and that's it. But Stephen C. King was the first person I talked to about PNH, and he had aplastic anemia. He was one of the original persons who did horse serum. It was experimental back then at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center in Seattle, Washington. According to him, what he told me in 2016, he was told that if he didn't do this treatment, that he would die. He also told me that his family refinanced his house, got him out to Seattle, Washington. I was like floored. I said, oh my God, this is aplastic anemia? This is how bad you got from aplastic anemia? Let me tell you something, people. Nobody told me how bad I would get. No doctor said, hey, you can get very severe aplastic anemia. I continued to work as a news reporter for Bloomfield Life. And on July 1st or July 6th, the deal was sealed that USA Today, which is Gannett Company, bought North Jersey Media Group. I was going to be without a job. I can't believe anybody in the bone marrow community would have the audacity to ever say anything negative about me. If anyone in the bone marrow community says anything negative about me, it's because they're afraid of how I speak the truth. They're afraid of a newspaper looking into the allegations that I have made. There has been allegedly some sort of untruths about me, and all I've done is work and work and work. And I'm leading up to something. I met Barbara Holzer in December of 2016. I finally got connected with her. I was told by another board member, call her. She has media contacts. You two can, get together as journalists and just talk about the disease and this and that. Well, I did just that. December of 2016, I was now cancer-free. I went through cancer surgery. I lost my job because if you Google, you will see that USA Today cut journalists in North Jersey, in Jersey in general. Weekly newspapers were cut. This was cut, that was cut. I was part of the first cut. As a matter of fact, I was on disability, and I reached out to attorneys saying, you can't fire me. I'm on disability from this company. That's illegal to cut me. I called a few attorneys in Passaic County, where the headquarters was listed, whatever it was, and I got one lawyer who said, hey, I can't help you, conflict of interest. I actually represent the company. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? So then I finally found out that, yes, they could let me go because it was already said back in September, October, and I said, I can't believe I'm losing a job. I just had cancer surgery. Like, what am I going to do for health insurance? I go over and over again looking for help from the foundation in Bethesda, Maryland. Hey, listen, you can't keep pushing me in a direction to get on a drug because now I'm going back on Medicaid. How do I know where to find a P&H expert? I'm going to tell you people something. There are P&H experts, and the P&H experts back then were not taking Medicaid, or I could not find them. I didn't know where to go to find a P&H expert. I was really lost in the sauce. And a P&H expert is somebody who knows your disease before you get on Solaris, during Solaris, everything else. And it's very important to team up with a P&H expert if you do Solaris, or if you don't want to do Solaris. It should be both ways. I don't want to do Solaris, therefore I'm still entitled to a P&H expert. I didn't know what I was doing in December 2016. I just knew that I lost my job because of a major layoff. Well, anyway, I call up Barbara Holzer, and I thought, well, maybe aplastic anemia might now get my story. How a news reporter loses her job, loses her health insurance, and I think at that time I was reaching out to NORD, maybe. NORD is the acronym. North Organization for Rare Diseases. I just can't even think about these names anymore, just acronyms. NORD in Connecticut. I was going to call up NORD and get insurance. But in any case, I spoke to Barbara Holzer. And I told Barbara Holzer, the former CEO or the former advertising, who had a background, knew about Gannett, worked in the Washington, Maryland, Virginia area, so she knew where I was coming from, that we news reporters get cut on a dime. And you know what she said? And I want everybody to know this. Barbara Holzer didn't want my story as a journalist. I had over 20 years experience even back then. Barbara Holzer wanted my story as a waitress. Do you see what's going on? That in 2016, if I would have agreed to do a story for Aplastic Anemia MDS International Foundation, if I would have done a story as a waitress, I would have been labeled as a waitress for the rest of my aplastic anemia journey. Let me tell you something, and I don't like to be rude like this. Aplastic Anemia MDS never wanted to represent me as a journalist because I represent the truth. I'm objective. I'm going to go after every story there is about anything. They knew that about me because Stephen C. King spoke to me and got the inside scoop from me without me knowing it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Continue to follow me. Leave me your comments. God bless.